Hello everybody and welcome to another Ogrecast. I am Ogre. I will be your host for this game of StarCraft 2. It is a 3v3 featuring myself, Ogre, the blue Terran. We have Eladimir, the teal Terran, and we have Xexodus as the red protoss. And our enemies for this battle are Alvaro, the purple protoss, Venomous, the orange protoss, and Skillsmatic, the yellow Terran. So, yeah, I've been battling a little bit of lag for, well, the last game I cast had lag, and so does this one too, apparently, so hopefully it's going to be okay. Um, just going to speed up the start for now, although things start happening pretty quick with 3v3. Now, should be mentioned that I don't believe Eladimir plays that much Terran, and I'm not sure Terran's actually my best race either. Well, I don't know, I'm not too bad with it. And Xexodus, always the Protoss. So yeah, we're not ranked or anything in 3v3, I don't think. We've only played a few games with each other. But suffice to say, I think we'd probably be a pretty solid silver or gold. Looks like my sound settings are probably a little bit too high, so I'm going to lower the sound settings for everybody. The master volume to about 10. Looks up that. Return to game. Okay, so looks like we got a gateway coming up. We got a nice little scout in for Eladimir, who is always the scouter. He's very adept at that sort of thing. Getting a scout out pretty early normally. So we see that they're going to wall off this side, Alvaro is. So, I don't know, no zealot rushes or anything like that. Although, walling off against two Terrans is really not overly effective because Marauders can outrange any cannons that you put behind. And when you're Protoss, you don't, you're going to want your zealots to be able to get out at the Marauders and Marines, because pure Stalker is, I don't know, just not quite as good. And again, you can have a Marauder focus on this here gateway, and a Stalker, if they're standing behind, is not going to be able to shoot the Marauder. And if they're walking through, they got to go through this little choke here. So I find that against Terran, I don't really do too much walling off myself. I get a nice little kind of command center wall. I don't know what you call this. SimCity. Some people have used that term before. Now, it looks like we got one Reaper out for Eladimir. I am also getting a Reaper or two out. This is a pretty solid map to get Reapers on. I mean, there's just... I saw that they were walling off, so I wanted to get some Reapers and kind of take advantage of the terrain and do a little hopping up and over stuff and things like that. So yet another reason that you don't really want to wall off against Terran. No Stalkers up here quite yet, so actually if I hopped a Reaper up onto here, like this area here, I could start picking off zealots, I could pick off buildings. The cybernetics core is pretty vulnerable, and because Reapers do so much building damage, that's probably what I should do. But I don't think I quite do that. I think that's Eladimir's Reaper yet. Now, I waited till I had a couple Reapers out, and I saw that he was going up top there. Oh, I do have one Reaper sitting there with his. I guess he had a couple of Reapers rallied to mine. So, yeah, I mean, from here, we could do some hopping down and do a bit of damage, but I didn't even really realize that I had any Reapers up there. I don't think... Oh, yeah, there they go. So there's a couple Stalkers. I'm going to pull my Reapers back because, well, Stalkers are easily going to be able to pick those things off, especially without the speed upgrade, which I might as well say it. I mean, the speed upgrade is pretty impossible to get it because by the time you can get the speed upgrade, there's usually too much base defense for these Reapers to be any good. But I'm floating around the back. I don't think Eladimir's Reapers actually got in to do any damage because of the Stalkers. Now, there's a couple Stalkers over at the back here. I guess they just have a sense that my Reapers are going to be back here. I had 5 Reapers. I thought I could pick off 2 Stalkers maybe, but I just pick off 1. They really do take an awful lot of Reapers to kill. So I lose 2 Reapers. That's 100 minerals, 100 gas. And I take out 1 Stalker, which is only 50 gas and 125 minerals, so it wasn't a good trade. There's cannons up here, so I'm going to pick off a supply depot and just have to back out. Eladimir is, or Xexodus, I guess, is wanting to rally troops up there. I don't think I have too much in the way of troops. I hop my Reapers up and actually managed to take out a cannon while these Stalkers are focusing on the rocks, which is pretty hilarious, I think. I just leave that Stalker alive with 14 hit points, but I do manage to take out an SCV and jump my Reapers down. Looks like I lose 2. That guy's, yeah, he's gonna die too. Really, I don't know, a cannon and a Stalker for 3 Reapers, not a very good trade either. So I've kind of decided that Reapers are going to be a waste from here on out. I've got a couple Reapers kind of back in my base. Looks like 4 Reapers that I don't know if I'm going to do anything with them. I think I'm just going to hold them back in my main army. We do have a little engagement here. Looks like Xexodus and Eladimir have a decently sized force of Marines and Stalkers. These Zealots got left behind. You really want to have those Zealots in front, but yeah, I mean, because they do a lot more damage to these Stalkers. But unfortunately, there's going to be a really good surround. There's Marines and Stalkers on the high ground, Stalkers on the low ground. That is not going to go too well. They both need to have a retreat going on here. Meet back in the middle. There are some rallied forces on the way for Eladimir. So if they can kind of pull, yeah, like Alvaro's 5 Stalkers there, getting way out away from reinforcements. So I mean, yeah, if I were him, I'd send those back. Venomous, really good spot for an observer. If any of you guys are playing on this map, I think, like, I'd never put an observer there before, but just seeing the observer kind of at the forks here makes me want to actually throw an observer up there if I'm ever playing Protoss on this map. Yeah, so starting to get a couple of Marauders for myself. I think, I'm not sure what I was doing up to this point. My production tab is, Siege Tech. I'm going Siege Tech. Because of their wall off and things like that. Siege tanks can be really solid for getting a good position on this map. Like, you need a foothold kind of around the middle here, and I mean, they can always go around the sides, but I find if you have a good strong middle position, then you always have somewhere to retreat to, and then you can do attacks on either side. So yeah, I guess people are just kind of teching up here. We got some Stalkers for Alvaro moving up. Holy crap, look at all the things that I've got all 3 upgrades from Marines and Marauders going right now. I got a couple Marines, an SCV, a command center, an engineering bay, barracks, and I think Siege Tech just finished. So yeah, that is one hell of a production tab right there. We got some Cloaked Banshees coming out from Skillsmatic. Looks like Exodus is taking out the rocks, and I'm just gonna put my troops kind of in this forward position. I think, yeah, I'm because I've got my Siege Tech out, I want to just hold the middle here. Now with Cloak coming out for their Banshees, holding the middle is not going to be a hugely strong position, although we must have scouted something, because I've got all kinds of turrets coming up. Yeah, not sure exactly where his Banshees are right now, but definitely got a sense that there's some Banshees out. Let's take a look at the units tab. And yeah, there's 4 Banshees on the map somewhere. Let's take a look and see if we can find them. Any yellow dots anywhere? Oh, yeah, okay, here's the Banshees right here in his base. Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure how we scouted that out, but I just thought it was a pretty good time to put up these turrets. And let's take a look at the production tab. Well, yeah, I guess it was just time. Sometimes in a 3v3 I just assume somebody is going to go Banshees or some kind of air harass, so